Should working from home become a legal right? Yes, it should. If you have a job that doesn't require you to physically be in the office, if you have like a job that you primarily do on the computer, then you should be able to do. Or if you have a job that's like, say for example, like my job, right? Social work. Obviously, I have to work face to face with clients, but then that might be an hour, right? And then there's probably about 8 hours paperwork for every 1 hour I sit down with a client. So, hello Defect! Hello Defect! I'm sorry the Springbok lost, Defect. I'm sorry. Alright, I won't talk about it. I won't talk about it. It's okay. It was probably just a fluke by the Wallabies. It was probably just a fluke. You guys will be alright. You'll be alright. Yeah, so like with my job, like for every contact hour I have with a client, it's about 8 hours paperwork. So for me, I could have like 1 day in the office where it's an 8-hour day and I see 8 clients, and then I could have the 4 days to do all the paperwork, you know? Make sure everything's nicely done for when my case notes get subpoenaed by family court or criminal court or whoever's subpoenaing my stuff, because, you know, that happens a lot. And, yeah, it's, and look, like since COVID, so many companies now have the infrastructure to allow for people to work from home as well. Like with me, I made the argument with my workplace that because I'm disabled, that I should be able to work from home for some of my hours. Finally rolled out our DSP when COVID made it mandatory. Yeah. You plan on moving to Australia soon? Oh, where are you from, Omar? Oh, you're from are you from Dagestan? I think you might be our friend from Dagestan. I can't remember. I'm trying to keep up with where everybody's from. Everybody in chat, say what country you're from so I can save it in my brain. It hurts you in the place you keep your soul. You can't take the word subpoena seriously. I mean, yeah, it's actually very, very scary when you get subpoenaed. It's actually incredibly scary. Like, social workers have to give evidence in court a lot, like professional evidence. And are the animals as bad as the memes? No, Omar. It really makes me mad when everybody says, oh, Australia's dangerous, yada, yada, yada. Like, you hardly ever see the spiders. You never see the snakes. You might see a spider, like, very rarely. It's, yeah, it's not scary here, Omar. Really, it's fine. It's fine. I think you'll fit in well in Australia. Yeah, look, I used to go out into the bush all the time, Omar, and I think in probably about 7 years of being in the bush for about 8 hours a day, 2 days a week. Like, I would always go hiking on the weekend. I think I saw a snake maybe like twice. I saw a brown snake crossing the track in front of me, and I saw like a black snake sunbaking on a rock. But yeah, you never see them. It's yeah, it's very overstated. Isn't there the most poisonous spider that can live inside your house? Are you talking about the funnel web? I guess technically they could live inside your house, but I mean, technically anything could live inside your house if you bring it inside your house. It's pretty easy to keep the bugs out of your house. Aussie animal propaganda is a psyop by South Africa to hide out your much worse wildlife. It might be. Yeah, I wouldn't be scared. I wouldn't be worried about the animals, Omar. I'm sure you'll be fine. And if you're living in a city, yeah, you probably more than likely won't really see anything too scary. I'll see you, Delta. I hope you have a good night's sleep. Uma Musume with South African zebra girls. that would be cute, actually. That would be super cute. Yeah, look, unless you're moving to like North Queensland, like far North Queensland, where there's like crocodiles or something, but no one lives up there. Like 5 people live up there, so I think you'll be right. Like, all of the major cities don't really have any dangerous animals. Like, if Melbourne's very safe, Sydney's very safe, Brisbane's very safe, the Gold Coast is very safe, Adelaide is safe, Perth is safe. Darwin? Don't move to Darwin. I would say don't move to Darwin. I think, yeah, there's definitely crocodiles up there. But then again, 5 people live in Darwin. I don't know. There's probably, there could be 15 people there now. I don't know. But, you know, there's not many. You're doing Uma Musume runs right now while you're watching? Yeah, go for it. It's a fun game. It's a really cute game. All right, let's watch the story. I feel like a school teacher. Imagine being a school teacher. What a shitty job. I would hate that.
Please take a seat.
Victorian Labor Party members gathered at the weekend at the Moonee Valley Racecourse for what was already
I know that racecourse.
An eventful state conference. Motions to immediately recognise Palestine and review the AUKUS submarine deal were prominent on the agenda. As delegates debated, Premier Jacinta Allen was preparing to drop her own policy bombshell.
Delegates, I can announce something important here today. My Labor government will make working from home a right. Not a request, a right.
But what if you have a job that you genuinely can't? I know I'm just being a dickhead, but like, what if you're a plumber? You can't fix someone's toilet from your house. You have to go to their house and fix their toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if someone took a big Boris and it's someone did a big fat dump and the toilet's blocked? Like, you can't unblock it with your mind from your house. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to remove the poo manually. Okay. Sorry, that's a yucky image.
Under the plan, all Victorian workers, whether they're in the public or private sectors, would be given the legal right to work from home 2 days a week. The Premier has told 7:30 that while working from home is a way of life in Victoria, there are workers who are missing out.
And I spoke to a woman last week, a single mum last week, who was working 1 day a week from home, kept her whole life in balance. That 1 day was taken off her, and she was told that 1 day was taken off her while she was on a Teams call from a boss who was working from home themselves. So it's absolutely clear that it's working, it works for families, it's good for the economy, but it needs to be protected, and that's why we are doing so here in Victoria.
You cited that example though, but where's the empirical evidence that there are many more examples like that to justify what you're doing in terms of legislating working from home?
Well, we know every day. The workers' representatives, the unions, are getting calls every day from workers who are saying that what they have had in working from home is being taken off them. We've seen the response, Michael. We've seen the response this week to protecting the right for workers to work from home being shot down by voices who don't want to see this practice entrenched as a right.
And that response has been fierce. Prominent corporate figures and employer groups were blindsided by the Premier's announcement. They're accusing the government of overreach and are lining up to label the move anti-business.
Employers want to have flexibility, but they also want to have the right to run their own business. So when they're being mandated for something or told to do something, it really changes their attitude to things. And I think the government hasn't really given that enough thought.
Tim Piper, the Victorian head of the Australian Industry Group, said
Hyperbobian says his genuine concern with working from home is social cohesion, but he agrees we do need it to make up for parents losing out everywhere else. Well, yeah, I think anything that that means that parents don't have to put their kids into state care, daycare during the day is probably good. Because you can supervise your children with most jobs, most admin jobs and things like that, most office jobs. You could have, your preschool age children at home, keeping an eye on them, give them some colouring in books or whatever so they can do some drawings or whatever, and you can have lunch together and all of that. I think it would be good. I think it would be good for a lot of people. It's also just good for morale. I know for me personally, if I'm having a day where I'm in a lot of pain, it's a lot easier to get through the pain when I'm in the comfort of my own home. Like, a lot of times I will dress in like work clothes from the top up, but I will like have my pajama pants on. So like if I do have to do a Teams call or something, if I do have to do a Teams call, I've got my hair done. I've got a nice, blouse on or something, got the Chanel's out. Just kidding. I don't own a Chanel blouse, but if someone wants to buy me one, I won't say no. But you know, dressed up nicely, and then I'll just be wearing like, you know, some Sailor Moon pajama pants. Or at the moment I have penguin ones. I've been rocking the penguin pajama pants lately. They are very nice. You just had a remote therapy session from home with your therapist who also works from home during your lunch hour for your job that you work from home. Yeah, that's the dream. That is the dream. Well, that's the other thing too. Like, I'm a qualified counsellor because when you do a social work degree, there's an elective for counselling. So if you do those electives, and some social work degrees, depending on the university, just have it inbuilt. But yeah, it qualifies you to be a counsellor. So you can also do that. So if anyone need, I'm not giving any of you counselling. I was just joking. That's unethical. I can't do that. But yeah. Anyway.
As the work from home plan will make the state much less attractive as a place to do business.
Our concern is that businesses will be seeing the changes that are occurring in business, not just this, but a number that are occurring within Victoria. They won't leave tomorrow. They won't leave next year, but the investment will...
But what about all the parents that are terrified of putting their kids into daycare in Victoria? What about them just leaving the workforce altogether because they don't want their kids being, you know, having the things that have been happening in Victorian daycares being done to their kids? Like, for ethical reasons, that's a joke. Exactly. For legal reasons and ethical reasons, it's a joke. It is a complete joke. I am a very professional and legally ethical person. I would never.
And over a period of time, Victoria will be less popular for businesses to be at than other states.
I don't really understand why we need legislation around this, to be honest.
Morgan Owen says the 11 employees at her Melbourne finance broking business already enjoy a flexible working environment. She says it works for them and it works for her company. And she fears the one-size-fits-all approach being proposed by the government could destroy this balance.
Well, they think that they need to protect employees, which is fair enough, and I would agree that we should.
I think for a lot of people that have like severe illness or disability, honestly, even if you have a job that just allows you to partially work from home, it can be the difference from being able to keep your job or having to leave employment and go on disability. Like, I know for me, 5 days in the office right now would be untenable for me with the amount of pain that I have, and we can't get painkillers anymore in Victoria, so all I can take for my pain is paracetamol. I can't get tramadol, I can't get codeine, I can't get like Palexia or any other types of painkillers. It's just paracetamol. And you know, if I can take a bath, a really hot bath on my lunch break, or even I've got like an electric blanket that I put in my office chair when I'm at home. You can't do that in the office, right? Because you can't use extra electricity. You know, they don't just let you plug in your home appliances at work. But when I'm, you know, at my work desk at home, I can have an electric blankie that I sit on that's really warm, and it makes my joint pain bearable. And yeah, having a hot Epsom salt bath during my lunch break, you know, kind of means that, you know, I can get through the last 4 hours of the day or something like that. So I think for disabled people, you know, it is the difference between staying in the workforce or having to leave. And I think that's also a massive consideration.
Should absolutely be protecting employees, but we should be protecting employers as well. And we have to be able to figure out what's going to be best for our businesses. And that's not something that can be blanketed approached. What suits a huge government body or a government workplace is not the same thing that's going to suit a small boutique business like mine.
Ooh, I have a boutique business. I'm better than
also
you.
has legal experts scratching
I'm a
their
boutique.
heads.
We know that the industrial relations system now is pretty well comprehensively governed by federal law, and when federal law covers the field, there's not much room for state law to operate.
Joellen Riley-Munton, a law professor at the University of Technology in Sydney, says this means federal workplace laws will always take precedence and the proposed Victorian legislation would be invalid, but not before a potential blizzard of legal challenges.
It could be a long time sorting it out, and I feel very sorry for the poor old employee or employer who might end up being the one carrying the legal fees for sorting it out.
Jacinta Allen insists there won't be a legal problem.
Well, the advice we have is that the Fair Work Act provides us, indeed it provides all states with a floor, with the foundation that we can then build on to deliver working from home as a right. Some of the advice goes to looking at how our state-based anti-discrimination laws that can work in concert with the Fair Work Act.
There's also a political element to all of this. Working from home is so entrenched in Australia that politicians who try to wind it back do so at their peril. Look no further than the federal Liberal Party's promise before the last election to force federal public servants back to the office. A policy that proved to be so unpopular.
Yeah, look, for me, I would probably be thrown into poverty if my workplace didn't allow me to work some hours from home, right? Because I wouldn't be able to work full time. I would have to go on the disability support pension, which is only $29,000 a year. And how would I pay my rent and eat on that? I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would be absolutely screwed. So yeah, or you know, my other option would be working part-time, which would also just be a mess. Either way, it would throw me into poverty. And I think, you know, I'm obviously not the only person in that situation. So I think it's a consideration, you know. If anyone knows any hot rich guys that want a cute little crippled girlfriend, let me know. I'm always taking applications, and yeah, if they want to stay at home weirdo, I'm the girl to to fulfill those dreams.
It was dumped during the campaign. So Jacinta Allen would be alive to the potential political upside of what she's planning to do.
Premier, you've been in politics for a long time. I've been covering politics for a long time. At its heart, this is simply an attempt to wedge the State Liberal Party, isn't it?
I couldn't disagree with you more, Michael, because for so many people, what goes on in their daily lives is not about Parliament, it's not about politics, it's not about political parties, it's about what's going on in their lives and how we can support them to make it better for them.
Politics never crossed your mind in coming up with this announcement?
Well, of course we need to use the vehicle of the Parliament to be able to make this
that's
change.
Parliament.
And that's politics. That's Parliament.
See you, Dango. I hope you have a good dinner or a good sleep or whatever time it is where you are. I hope it's a good one.
When what happened with the Federal Liberal Party at the last election campaign, surely that would have crossed your mind in coming up with this policy?
Well, it demonstrates clearly, Michael, that we need to protect it. Demonstrates very clearly that if Liberal politicians had their way, that working from home would not be a right.
Victorian Liberal leader Brad Batten has been guarded in his response to the plan, saying he supports measures that give Victorians a better work-life balance and will review the proposed legislation when the Premier introduces it.
It was a press release over a policy. It was a stunt over substance.
Tim Wilson, the Federal Liberal Party's industrial relations spokesman, has been more forthright, saying the Premier's proposal amounts to professional apartheid, with some workers enjoying better rights than others.
You have so many people who, whether they're retail workers, teachers, nurses, tradies, they don't work from home. And so there's a clear schism about what the government is trying to do. That's why they're gaslighting so many workers in the process. And I think we need to call it out. It's important.
Tim looks like he needs a good sleep. Tim looks like, yeah, he looks like maybe he has an iron deficiency. Should we send him some neonatal vitamins or something? I think we should. He's not, did I advertise myself as a stay-at-home weirdo? I mean, I don't know what to call myself. He was staying up late on Twitter. Oh, is he one of those? I haven't been on Twitter for years because I just find it so the last time I was on Twitter, it was still called Twitter. It wasn't X. It wasn't X yet. That's how long ago it was. Yeah, he does not look healthy, does he? He does not look healthy. He needs a sleep. Should we send him some Maybellines? Should we send him some Maybelline concealer? Australia is a social experiment to see what would happen if we made all plumbers millionaires. It 100% is defect, and the answer was it made a very fun place to live. There's a lot of jet skis. There's a lot of jet skis on the back of plumbers' utes on the weekend. I will say that there's a lot of plumbers jet skiing. Let's just say that.
Important that we respect work from home, but it should be done on the basis of substance, not on the basis of stunts.
Have a right to request working from home.
None of this is deterring Jacinta Allen. She believes she's chosen a winning issue ahead of next year's state election.
It means that for so many families, those who can, it gives them time back. It means saves them money, which is money that can go back into their household instead of paying for, tolls and fuel in the car. And that time and that money saving is precious and incredibly important for families.
I think you have utes in South Africa, because I've seen a South African Toyota Hilux ad before. I'm pretty sure. Isn't that the other place where Hiluxes are heaps popular? I'm pretty sure you do have them. Like I'll show you what utes are. It's just like a flat tray at the back. Yeah, a Hilux is definitely a ute. Yeah, a Toyota Hilux is a ute. Yeah. A Hilux is more of a pickup. Yeah, but we don't really... I call them all utes. In Australia, they all used to be called utes. I call them all utes. They're all utes to me. But yeah, just like... which way do I go? Help me. I'm stuck. Trying to move out of the way. Your company is trying to cancel your working from home and your union is calling for a second strike. You should strike. You should strike, cranky bookworm. Yeah. No, working from home, like if you have a job where you don't need to be in the office, like why should you be? I don't know. I guess maybe there's a debate on what constitutes a ute, but I just call all of these utes. To me, they're all utes. Let's ask Google. Is the Hilux a ute? Yes, a Toyota Hilux is a type of ute, also known as a pickup truck. There you go. There you go. In Australia and New Zealand, ute is a common term for vehicles with a similar body style, according to Wikipedia. The Hilux is a popular and rugged ute known for its reliability and performance, especially in the Australian market. Well, you're a software developer. You could definitely do that from home. Yeah, there's no reason why a software developer needs to be in the office. Like you're literally on the computer. Like what do you need to do in like face to face with somebody that you can't facilitate electronically? It doesn't make any sense. And there's no need to be in the office except if you're making a big change and need to support the clients there. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of jobs like I have a few friends that work from home, but they'll go into the office like 5 times a year for like big meetings with clients and things like that. Like if someone's coming down from Sydney or something like that, they'll go into their office and they'll, might be presenting to clients from Sydney or like from the bosses from Sydney or whatever, like stuff like that. But yeah. I think for the most part, like if you can facilitate, meetings online, if you can do most of these things online, then you shouldn't have to do it. What about the ones that are like the Holden SSB? I haven't seen a Holden in a minute. I have not seen a Holden in a minute. That's not a pickup. Well, pickup is an American term. Pickup trucks are what Americans call utes. I don't use it. I call them all utes. I've just always called them all utes. I think it's like an Americanism. Let's do ute versus pickup. But yeah, I think American Trucks Australia. Oh no. Oh, do you know what I hate the most, Joey? Have you noticed all the like giant yank tanks on the road lately? Like the Ford Raptors and stuff? Those things are terrifying. Wait, I should read chat. They're talking about something else. Are you talking about getting spied on at work? My work doesn't spy on me, luckily. Luckily, because they would see some very strange things if they did. A lot of the time I'm just singing songs to my cat when I'm at home. I mean, I'm working, but I'm also singing songs to my cat. She likes to sit next to me and, you know, I sing songs to her about how cute she is, and it actually makes me a more productive worker. So I feel like, you know, I feel like it's all right. I do. I feel like it's all right. Oh, there's a lot of regulations. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean, the main thing for social work for me is like confidentiality, but obviously like I'm not publishing people's personal information online. And you know, we have a lot of encryption and we have a lot of security and things like that. So it's okay. And I never print off anything at home. I only ever print off things at the office, and they go straight into a case file, which goes straight into a locked drawer, which is also behind a locked door, which is also behind like another 2 locked doors when the whole building is locked down. So it's very, very secure. But yeah, we have to worry about a lot of security stuff, just because you're working with like people's very like private, sensitive information. But all right, let's play Scrandle. Scrandle. Are we flexing security clearances?